Today we are going to be ranking the Power Rangers movies, well at least the three of them that we got so far. Man, I can't wait to talk about this one. Hit that intro.
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my Morphin when it morph, I made a fake one.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the fan club. It's your boy Dan Brosnan Bros in the building. Welcome to the show. This was a fan requested one. Had a fan ask me like, what would I rank the Power Ranger movies, like 1 to 3, because there's only 3 real Power Ranger movies. We had a few cool, straight to DVD specials and stuff like that, but only 3 real Power Ranger movies. So the first movie was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, the 1995 classic. I loved this movie, and we'll get into it in a second. But then our second movie was the 1997 movie. See, I didn't say classic there. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Like, even the name was just kind of goofy. Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. I don't know, like, then the show was Power Rangers Turbo. And then we've got the recent one, the 2017 Saban's Power Rangers. This one had a lot of potential. It might have not lived up to all of the hype, but I personally like this one. Let's get into them. Let's rank them. Let's talk about them, okay? So, coming in last place, it has to be 100% Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Man, I loved this movie as a kid. I saw it in theaters. I was one of the few people that paid money, or at least my mom did. I was in first grade, 1997. The movie came out. It was dope to me. I like that they gave us Jason back. They gave us Kimberly back. It was super cool. You had Tommy as the Red Turbo Ranger. You had Blake Foster, who played Justin, the Blue Turbo Ranger, who was a kid. And people hated that character. But as a kid, I loved a Kid Ranger. I thought it was kind of cool and awesome at the same time. I remember, saw it in theaters when the movie came out. I got the movie right away. I think it was around tax time they released that movie. Shout out y'all, giving a shout out to me, because I didn't get much Power Rangers things around except for tax time. So I remember tax time, the movie came out, and they got some Turbo pajamas. I still remember those pajamas, baby. They were red. I felt like Tommy and TJ and everything, man. It was cool. It was a good time. Now that's emotions and feeling and fandom and nostalgia in there, all right? Now let's watch this movie in 2021. It's not a good movie, guys. I get it as a special, near and dear part to my heart. I enjoy parts of this movie, but as a whole, how you gonna have a set that looks that beautiful and that cool and no action in it barely? The most action you got in the first 30 minutes was when people were on the horses trying to get Larago in the first few minutes of the film. You feel me? There's no real action. I think it's, an hour and 20 minutes into the film, something like that. They actually are fighting with their suits on, fighting. It's a long time until we get a real fight. There's a lot of adventure scenes, but Power Rangers wasn't necessarily that. They had better graphics. I thought the Zord scene was cool. I thought it was so awesome that they brought back old characters. But the story progression kind of sucked, man. I thought we should have had a Zeo scene right away. How did the Zeo powers get taken away? How? What? I know as fans, we're so big on the Zeo powers being so strong, but part of me is that's something they missed there. They could have destroyed them. They could have done something where we had a battle with the Zeo powers for the first 5 minutes and then they get the Turbo. How cool would have that been, man? I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of, there's so many things on this film that I feel like we missed out on, and that's why it has to be number 3. At number 2, now this is arguable, but at number 2, I put the 2017 movie in there. Now, this one was a lot better than Turbo in a lot of different ways, don't get me wrong, but like Turbo, it took a long time to get some fight scenes, to get some extra oomph in there. Like, I wish we would have, right after the first 10, 15 minutes of like building the characters and kind of doing the scenes, the car crash with Jason, all of that stuff, which I thought was cool. I liked that. There should have been something right away, like that just made them have to fight, made them have to do something, an action sequence, like, and that was something that was missing in this film, because it was not a flop. Like, Power Rangers Turbo was a flop, and there's a reason for it. This movie wasn't a flop, but it was a bust on expectations from Saban and Lionsgate. They dropped $100 million on the budget, and that's probably not including any advertising, anything like that. And I remember when this movie came out, it had enough advertising. I mean, could they have done a little bit more? Heck yeah, you always can. And maybe it's not Disney level, but I was seeing this commercial everywhere. I was seeing it on billboards in big cities, on buses in big cities, and they were literally spending hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars on marketing for this movie. And there were some things that they missed out on. One, I talked about the action. 2, there were elements that didn't necessarily bring new fans in. And you guys know what I'm talking about, where Power Ranger fans saw this movie a bunch of times, bought the DVD, bought the Steelbook, like absolutely loved it. But no one else did. That's the problem, is the toy line got sold. It wasn't a complete failure. I think there was a $100 million budget. They made $150 million off of it, which really, in all honesty, is kind of a bust expectation-wise. It's kind of like in the NBA or NFL, you go and you trade for a guy that you think is going to be really good. You pay him all this money because last year he scored 25 points. And then this year he scores 10 or 15 points. And you're like, what am I paying all this money for? You know, we thought we were going to be here and we're actually here. And it's just because of expectations. Now, if he was just a random, a rookie or an undrafted guy coming on in there scoring 10, 15 points a game in basketball, you're like, oh yeah, this guy's pretty good. But it's all about expectations. There was a budget here. There was expectations from fans to hit this out of the park, and I don't think they necessarily hit it out the park. They hit like a triple. They hit a double. They did good. I didn't think that this movie was a failure. Definitely not. There was a lot of really good scenes, and I think the biggest thing here, the reason why it could be arguably number 1, is the cast is really nice. It's good. This cast, if you look at like all of what they're doing, so the Black Ranger, Ludi Lin, he is going to be in Mortal Kombat. Then you've got the Pink Ranger, and she's in a bunch of stuff. She played Jasmine in Aladdin. She was in Charlie's Angels. So like in her first few years, she was a Charlie's Angel, Jasmine, like a Disney princess, and a Power Ranger. Man, you got Becky G, that she's just got bigger and bigger within like the reggaeton movement and music. They're all hitting their strides. I know RJ Seiler's out there doing stuff, and he's in a bunch of different shows. And Dacre Montgomery was in Stranger Things, and he's in some other things too. So that cast is nice, man. Like, that's probably one of the biggest Ranger casts if you look at it. These are some real Hollywood actors. And I would have loved to see that cast get a reboot, and we almost did. We were close. We were right on that needle, but it wasn't enough. And Hasbro was selling it, or Hasbro was buying it. They knew what they were doing all along. They were going to test the market. They saw that this wasn't a complete failure. They just didn't fully do it right. And that's where we have it with the 2017 movie. There was just some things that I didn't love about it. Now that looking back, a few years ago, first year or two, I might have been so in love with just this new movie. I might have put it one, but no. Number one is the OG, okay? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. There are so many great elements. The only thing that does not stand the test of time is the weird 1995 CGI they were using. That's about it, honestly. We already knew all of the characters, so we didn't have to do no crazy character story arc and bring them in. In the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the action sequences, they're jumping out of planes, they're rollerblading to free ride, like they're teleporting to the command center. They're going to fight Ivan Ooze right away. They morph within the first 25 minutes. You get all of this cool stuff. You get the command center right away. You get a fight. You see Ivan Ooze. You see Rita. You see Zed. You literally see so much in the first 30 minutes that it really builds up to where they go to outer space and they fight and some people don't love that whole quest, but really they built it up perfectly. It fit perfect. They were going for a super family-friendly movie that was action-packed and had something going on at all times. Every 15 minutes they were fighting something, it felt like. It was good. That's what you want as a Power Ranger fan. What do? They fight stuff. Give us a cool story, like action sequences. We're not going to talk the whole time. And when they did talk, they had good lines. Like, there are so many great lines from Ivan Ooze and all the Power Rangers. Man, Power Rangers, where's my autograph book? And it's time to boogie with the bear. There are so many sweet lines from this movie. And it's classic, man. And this is not just the nostalgia, heartstrings pulling. I watch all of these movies all of the time, and I could argue that the 2017 movie is better. It's more dramatic, okay? You could say it's better if you like that sort of movie, but when it comes to an actual Power Rangers movie and what kind of expectations are, number one is the gold standard. Yes, it's a 95 movie. Things don't always look the best. The Zord scene is bloody awful. Like, I could give it to that. Like, 2017 has elements that you might like more than number one, but honestly, number one stands the test of time, and the fact that we're even comparing a 2017 movie to a 95 movie, man, that's real. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it's all about for me. And this is opinions too. I want to know what your opinion is. Do you think I got it wrong? Do you think Turbo's number one? Do you think the 2017 movie's number one? Let me know in the comments. We love doing these type of videos. If you guys support this, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell. And we're on Buy Me a Coffee. Go to buymeacoffee.com/thefanclub. You can send me a coffee. It really goes a long way, and we appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Peace. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscription button, and also hit that notification bell to stay in the algorithm. Do you guys support the fan club? You want to help us make our next episode and keep this show running? Well, check out our brand new fan club t-shirts. These are on our Square site. Go check that out. Go check us out on all social media platforms. And thank you for rocking with us, guys. Peace.